Okay. So this corridor is empty. You actually need to go into this room. Even if there's not actually anything you need to do in this room, you just need to go in and then come back out. But there's an item box, and we're going to take advantage of that. Are we? No, we're going to leave that for the minute, actually. Just to save a bit of time.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried.
How did you get past everything to get down here, Sherry?
We've got to go now, honey, okay? If we stay here, that monster will find us. Let's go.
No, I won't.
Oh, you little brat.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
Don't you trust me? The person you met 5 minutes ago who you thought was a zombie before that?
It's because of my daddy. He's over there. I heard him call my name. Daddy must have been attacked by the monsters. I have to help him.
So, interesting little bit.
Wait, Sherry,
In
don't go alone.
RE 1.5 and in the remake,
Sherry!
William Birkin, Sherry's father, does actually call her name at a couple of points. In this game, he will, in the finished original RE2, in this game, he never actually calls Sherry's name. And so we have a bit of an issue here. In scenario A, this room has dogs. And dogs are more threatening to Sherry than zombies are. Oh, come on, really? They're faster than her, and they can do standard damage. Zombies don't actually have an animation to grab her with. They won't lean down and bite her. So as a result, all zombies can do to damage Sherry is throw up on her. It's an attack you don't see that often from the zombies. They can vomit corrosive vomit. It's their least damaging attack, and Sherry has more health than any character in the game. Probably because she's the only character who can't defend herself. And as a result, it makes this section a lot easier if you do Leon A, Claire B. Because in scenario B, that room is full of zombies, and all they can do is vomit on Sherry, and if you just keep running, they'll probably never hit you with that vomit anyway. But in scenario A, the dogs are actually a legitimate threat. Because Sherry can't run fast enough to get away from them properly. And as you saw there, they can just get you in a corner. There was a good possibility there that they could have just kept me in that corner, and that would have been it. So here's a weird thing. In the Dreamcast version, the water here is clear, and you can still see the bottom through the water. In the PS1 version and the GameCube version, which is based on the PS1 version, you can't. You can see the edge of one of the boxes through the water, and that's it. So it's an interesting graphical difference, probably a transparency thing. There's another case of a different graphical effect later in the game that's always stood out to me in the Dreamcast version, and I will point it out when we get there. So dogs are very similar to lickers. They won't start attacking you until you get close or until you start running. But they will, unlike lickers, make their way towards you. We're in caution, that's not good. I hope we don't get killed doing this, actually. Because this part's actually completely optional. We come over here with Sharon, we just get some grenade rounds. It's nice and I appreciate it, but I do not want to die for 6 grenade rounds. And like I say, Sherry has no way of defending herself, so all you can do is run, and she can't run fast enough to get away from the dogs. Come on. Come on. That was close. That really was close. We could have probably taken like maybe 3 or 4 more hits. But 2 dogs jumping at you like that, they could have easily stun-locked me if they'd gotten the chance. Which, well, they had the chance. They could have easily stun-locked me
Okay?
if they'd really gone for it.
Dad.
Yes,
Thanks, sweetie. Now, why don't you come over here? I want you to stay with me.
Claire, I can't reach the ventilation hole anymore. But don't worry, I'll find another way. I can take care of myself.
Wait, Sherry, come back! Sherry! Sherry!
Alright, so now we pick up the grenade rounds and the key. Try and figure out the right positioning for that. Jeez. And what do I want to do here? Dropping the handgun off for now might not be a bad idea. Give myself some space. Drops the acid rounds. Be a good idea to keep that. Gonna want the diamond key and the lighter. So we have 2 lickers to get past. Bunch of zombies. The lickers I'd rather not kill because I'm never going to be back in that room again, but I may have to. That was fortunate. So the dogs in this room have been replaced with lickers now. And that's unfortunate. It's also the reason why I have the grenade launcher. Okay, we get the card key. Let's see, can I make it out of here? Nice. Made it out with 1 shot, I'm happy with that. Usually I'll just stand there and take them all out. Okay, grenade launcher just in case. Okay, you go that way. There's a second one further down. Okay, grab the herb here. Okay, need to get the power to 80 using using 5 switches. The answer really is 2 up, 2 down, 3 up, 2 down. And you do it up, down, up, down, up. Up, down, yeah. You can do up, up, down, down, up, up, down. There's a bunch of ways you can do it. Map for the basement, which we have no use for now. Now this is completely optional, but we do it because we'll get a bunch of ammo for it. Which is a good idea. There's supposed to be a second licker here. Why isn't there? That's weird. Might have to look into this, actually. There's a difference between the original Japanese release and the Western release of most Resident Evil games, especially the early ones. The Western release is usually harder. So with the side pack adds 2 extra inventory slots. It's usually worth putting on Claire. Most of the time, I'll just put it on whoever's in scenario B, but really the smart choice is to just put it on Claire because she has to carry more that is required. But yeah, the Japanese version's usually easier. There's usually more ammo to be found. I'm going to have to kill this licker, it's right in the way. That went horribly. Really did. Should have gone down in 2 shots, it took 4. But yeah, the Japanese version is usually easier. Usually get more ammo per pickup. Enemies usually do less damage per hit, which would explain why I'm still in fine. Auto aim is always on by default, which it is in this version. I'm not sure if enemies generally take more or less hits. Just throw an abdomen with torn out. This file is just for Leon, really. Night Watchman's Diary. August 11th. That's my birthday. I finally had the chance to see the blue skies for the first time in ages, but it did little to lift my spirits. I was reprimanded by the chief for neglecting my duties while I was up on the clock tower. There's only one thing I still don't understand. The chief seemed to be more concerned about the fact that I was up on the tower rather than that I was neglecting my duties. Why was access to the tower prohibited in the first place anyway? September 5th. I recently talked to the old man who works in the scrapyard out back. His name is Thomas. He's a quiet man and he seems to really enjoy chess. He even went so far as to design a special key and lock engraved with chess pieces on them for one of the doors in the disposal yard. We made plans to play chess tomorrow night. I can't help but wonder how good he is. One thing that's been bothering me about him is the way he's always scratched himself. Does he have some kind of skin disease or is he just rude? September 9th. Thomas was a much better player than I imagined. I used to think myself as a fairly decent player, but he did a pretty good job of humbling me. About the only thing I imagined that could match his in chess was his appetite. All the guy did was talk about food throughout the entire game. He sounded fairly healthy, but he didn't look quite right. I wonder if he's okay. September 12th. I was supposed to play another game of chess with Thomas, but we had to cancel because he hasn't been feeling too well. He stopped by to see me, but I told him to go back and rest since he literally looked like The Walking Dead. He insisted he was just fine, but I could tell he was really having problems. Come and think of it, I haven't been feeling too good myself lately. That file is basically for Leon. While Claire's goal to get out of the police station is the 4 stones that you put in the chief's office, Leon has, well, it's 3 stones. It's one of them's in 2 pieces, so it's 4. You have 4 pieces to pick up. Leon has I'm gonna need to stop buying an iron box. Leon has 4 chess pieces he needs to pick up to escape through a different way. I was really hoping to avoid going back to an item box. Mostly because, like, the nearest one's out of the way. Well, at the very least we can pick up that one file that I didn't actually get. Because at the time I hadn't decided whether or not I was going to be reading the files. I was playing it like I normally do. There's a file on the bench there. Alright, let's see. Drop off the handgun bullets. Drop this. Drop this. That should be good. Police memorandum. 23rd of the 8th, 1998. This letter is just to inform everyone about the recent movement of equipment that has happened during the precinct's rearrangement. The safe with the 4-digit lock has been moved from the STARS office on the 2nd floor to the Eastern office on the 1st. 2236, Raccoon Police Liaison Department. That's how you find out the combination for the safe we opened. Alright, we're making decent time. The police station is really the biggest part of the game. After this, it's pretty streamlined until you get to the lab. And then you just to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, and then out. Three, 4, 5, 6. So the bowgun has 18 shots, but it fires 3 bolts per shot. If you hit a zombie with all 3 at once, it's major damage and almost always will take them down. Okay, so we got the lighter. The next thing I need to remember to get from the box when we go back is the crank. Is he down? Yes. Awesome. Okay, I want to grab the cord. You know, since I discard 2 keys here, I do wonder, I might have actually been able to make this without going back to the item box. That jump usually gets everybody. I think it's the best jump scare in the game. Okay. Throw the club key away here. Watch out for this liquor. Three hits. It didn't make the death cry though. So we used the lighter here. And the answer appears on the other side of the room. It's Queen King Jack. But I generally refer to the solution, the solution appears there. I generally refer to this solution as 231, 23 is number 1. Which is an Ocarina of Time reference. So we get the G-Cog. Get out of here.